Hello everyone and welcome back to this week's FailRace versus Community. Today we're running some generic A-class races but with max tyre wear at 10 times. We're here in a Nissan R382 with the first race at Kyalami. Quite a ways down on the grid, starting from 18th there I think, as we make our way down towards turn 1. A lot of traffic. We just spot a gap on the outside but closes down. We're a bit on the grass on the outside here, just trying to find a bit of space for us to try and move forward. Getting stuck on the outside, trying to think of a cutback but no space there. Gap opens up for us on the inside of turn 2. I managed to come out of that first squabble in P11. Good exit from turn 4. And much more acceleration than these couple of cars. We swoop to the inside for this quick right-hander. A little bit of side-by-side door-to-door contact just causes us to slide a little bit wider. But we have got ourselves up into P9 with a very frantic start to this race. A little bit of contact coming out of that sort of S's. But we get away with it as we cut now to the end of lap 1 here. Coming out of the final corner. I should note with these max tyre wear races, there is also a mandatory pit stop, as you can see in the top right hand corner, as we use our great straight line speed here to fly by Speed Beast. We're on the medium tyre for the start of this race, and we're trying quite an ambitious strategy there. See, we check the tyre wears by 16 to 18%, which is a little higher than we'd like it for the strategy that we're trying. Might have to bail from the strategy. We'll wait and see. But as we head through the first sector here, we're just starting to catch up to Hordes and Stevie. Hordes getting a good run on Stevie, using the acceleration of their car to get by into this right-hander. Stevie seems to be a little down on straight line speed, but we're keeping up in the corners here, probably suggesting that Stevie starting this race on hard tyres for the 6th lap race. So we're staying close enough. Stevie also getting a little caught behind Hordes there. Hordes obviously not as much grip with the straight line speed that they have, so similar to us as we follow through the S's here. Can we get the acceleration up the hill towards our hairpin? We'll get to the inside, we'll brake late, and we should get the move done there. Stevie's going to try and hold it round the outside, but we're just able to slow in front. You can see Stevie getting a better traction, giving us a little helping hand out of the hairpin. But will be moved on with our acceleration downhill into the fast left-hander here. We're going to cut a lap later, chasing down Hordes. Now he seems to be struggling a little bit more on their tyres than us as we follow through this left-hander. Hordes just running a little bit wide, couple of wheels on the grass. We're going to look to the outside in the braking zone. Hordes running a little bit deeper, opens up the cutback opportunity, and we get it done, get the power down, and we slot up into P4 as we head around the penultimate corner here. We're going to see everyone in front of us heads to the pits. So does Hordes as well behind us. So very important, crucial lap here. This is where the optimistic part of the strategy comes in. We've already hit 50% tyre wear, which is actually quite concerning. But we're hoping to try and save the tyres a little bit more. I have a bit of a tyre advantage racing on wheel myself. I find myself just having better tyre wear. So we're going to try and use that here to go long, try and overcut and take soft tyres for the next stint. But it all factors in on not losing too much time on this in-lap. We've already lost a 10th through turn 1, but as we run a little bit wide into turn 4, sliding on the outside curb, that's going to have lost us a bit of time. Can see 55% now average as we head down towards turn 5. Can see we have about a 4-second gap to the other cars behind us who are likely on hard tyres, so they're definitely not going to be struggling with any tyre. As you can see, losing by a second with that little mistake through turn 4. As we head through the right and the left, still only about a second down. You can see the cars in the replay just fighting behind us. It's going to help us sort of stay in front a little bit, but we presume everyone will be pitting this lap, so we're not too concerned about those cars behind. We've pulled out enough of a gap as we lose another about 3/10 through the S's up towards the hairpin now. Just struggling with the grip. The tyres just continuing to drop off. 1.9 seconds down now. You can see the cars behind are closing in as we head through this left-hander, having to be really cautious. The car just sliding out wide and then into this right-hand hairpin way too late on the brakes, just not able to slow the car down. really wide. That's going to lose us a chunk of time as we head through next split point. 3.6 seconds down now. The strategy really doesn't look like it's paying off here as we head through the final corner and towards pit lane. That's 4 seconds lost on the in lap here. It's very costly. You can see how much the cars behind have caught up. So with our pit stop now on soft tires, let's see where we come out of the pits. Looks like it might be P6 here. We've got a car coming up on our right hand side. They're just going to get in front, but can we maybe have a look down the inside into turn 1 with our soft tires? We have a look, we hold it to the inside. That gives us the outside here for turn 3, and we just get the move done then on the inside for turn 4, and able to use the grip of our new soft tires to pull in front now. So it'll be a chase for the cars in front, trying to make up for that time lost on the old mediums on our in lap. So we skip to the final lap here. We're closing in on Rusky. That gap that was over about 3 seconds when we came out of the pits, now down to just mere fractions of a second. Are closing up. We're on the rear bumper, just looking for a way through for an opportunity here. Closing in, a little bump on the rear bumper of Rusky, but as we head through, that means we don't quite have the run up to the hairpin. Think about the inside, Rusky just defending it. Can we maybe get a cutback? We look to the inside on the exit, but we don't quite have the traction in the Nissan, nor do we have the acceleration compared to Rusky's cars. We head down to this left-hander, not able to get alongside beforehand. Trying to see if we can get alongside on the exit, which we can do. It'll be the outside though for this right-hand hairpin. Can we get a cutback like we did on Hordes? Rusky just about covers it off. Gets good traction out towards penultimate corner. Opportunities are running out now. Can we maybe get a good run through penultimate corner? We won't need it. Rusky runs wide onto gravel, and that gives us P4 as we head into the final corner. 5 odd seconds behind Shadow. Obviously we could have closed that in a little bit more had we not got caught up behind Rusky there. We won't improve on our fastest lap, even with the soft tires on that final lap with getting caught in traffic there. So our fast lap of 153.4 on those medium tires. Strategy didn't quite work out, unfortunately, with that medium to soft. We had a little bit of tire wear on the softs as well, so but the softs would have been wearing if we did pit that one lap earlier. So maybe mediums in hindsight. But anyway, we move on to the next race. We switch to an RX-8 for the Gunaseka, starting last on the grid here, right at the back. It's a good start still from the RX-8. We have good run on a couple of cars in front. We swoop to the inside using the pit exit a bit cheekily to get ourselves up into P20 as we head towards the hairpin here. A couple of cars running a little bit wide. We're trying to sneak down the inside of them, which we do. We're now heading up into 17th, maybe even 16th here into the right-hander, but we just get shuffled out wide here quite rudely from the yellow Lotus, I believe that is. I have a little look to the inside, but think better of it. A couple of cars running wide in the gravel. Car nearly spins back onto the track, but they just about hold the car off in the gravel. So we're going to have a look back on this Lotus, trying to sort of return of service here. Not quite able to get far enough alongside to get moved on there, but we're holding it side by side, and we have the acceleration now up towards the quick left-hander. And so we'll get that move done. We have a good run here on the Alfa Romeo on the exit here, but a couple of cars got caught up together. We're going to have to brake to not run into the back of them, unfortunately. But we're looking to the outside now, trying to see if we can maybe make up a couple of positions here. Just getting Forza glued through the corkscrew forces us to kind of cut the second part of it, and we have to back out of that to avoid the situation. So seeing, can we maybe get a move here on the exit? The Lotus once again going for a silly dive, just pushing Impega quite rudely out of the way through the penultimate corner. That gives us a run as we head down to the final corner. We go push them to the inside. They brake late once again, running wide quite silly enough. And you could kind of see that coming with how their behaviour has been all throughout this opening lap. But we get the move done, and we're able to use our medium tyres to get ahead now as we are catch up to this next squabble of cars. Jag there getting a poor exit, so that'll be one position. Couple of cars, Ewan and Chris going defensive, gives us the opportunity to try and go right the outside of Chris's Infinity. It'll be side by side as we head up to the quick left-hander here, but we're not quite far enough alongside. We tuck in behind at single file again. Big cut on the anti-cut, really unsettling the car, nearly trying to go 4 wide up ahead as we head up towards the corkscrew now. It's sort of 2 by 2, maybe even a little bit 3 wide here through the corkscrew. A little bit of bumping, but we managed to get the move done on the outside of Chris, getting ahead of their Infinity. But as we now follow Ruski's Alfa Romeo up to P12 now, so halfway up the grid, having started from last. Head into the final corner. Ruski's good, trying to look to the outside of Stevie through the final corner here. They've ran a little bit deep, running a little bit wide, and just trying to get a good exit, run it onto the sand, which really compromises their exit. That's one free position. We have a run here on Stevie as well. Stevie covering the inside through over the crest of turn 1. As we look to the outside of the hairpin, Stevie breaking to the opens the door nice and wide, first to sneak up the inside of the hairpin. And that will be a top 10 position for us so far as we skip later on round the lap now. Closing up on Ewan, a little mistake through the corkscrew, just slightly sliding around over the crest in the braking zone. But as we head through the final few corners now of the lap, just saying maybe can we make a move. Also thinking of our strategy, we're sort of, we can't pit at the halfway mark with there being 7 laps, so we're going to dive to the pit now, doing the opposite of Ewan to see if we can maybe make an undercut here. I think there's going to be a little bit of tyre wear on the 4th lap with the medium tyre, so we're going to stick with mediums. It's not going to be long enough for the softs, and we don't want to risk the... we don't want to slow ourselves down with hard tyre. We come out in 21st, just in front of Impega, who had pitted on the 1st lap after getting shoved off by the Lotus. So they're going to be on a set of hard tyres trying to go long, so they won't have the grip to keep up. But as we close in on Longbow here, closing into the left-hander, not quite able to get a move car. They're having issues through left-hander. I think that gained us another spot there, but as we head into the corkscrew, Longbow just slightly deep on the brakes. That leaves them tight through the second part of the corkscrew. As they pull to the right-hand side to open up this left-hander, we take the opportunity to dive it down the inside, try and pull the car up, which we just about do with a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, running slightly wide through the penultimate corner as well. So we're going to have to go defensive from Longbow. They look to the inside, we leave just enough space for them, so they send it down the inside and run it in way too deep. Move not really on there, a bit of a silly move from Longbow. But as we head now on to at the end of lap 4, everyone else pretty much is making their pit stops. Let's see where we come out. Looks like the undercut has somewhat worked. We come out in P10, but we're ahead of a couple of cars that we weren't ahead of previously, and have closed up on other cars. So the undercut looks to have worked for now, but of course we will have to deal with that tyre wear on the final lap of the race. A couple of cars still pit. You can see the leader yet to pit, but they're only 8 seconds up the road. We've got that position net as we've got a run here on the Ginetta Ive, the left-hander. We pulled to the inside, trying a little bit of door-to-door rubbing through left-hander, but we just pull in front through the left-hander. And so we look to see if we can maybe chase down the cars in front. We're catching up to, I believe this is an MG Touring car that hasn't made a pit stop yet, so they're struggling on their tyres. That sort of just let us close in a little bit on the cars in front. We have Dangerman and Alex ahead as we head around the end of this lap. Someone running wide into the gravel, and they'll be making for pit lane to make their mandatory stop. Leader also in at the end of lap 5. So that is everyone through pit lane for their stops, and that leaves us in P6 now as we head. We're going to skip forward halfway around this lap. Alex and Car Guy running side by side through left-hander. We're closing in on Dangerman, trying to make a move on their Sierra. Not quite able to have the run, but up to the corkscrew. Car Guy braking a bit early. Allows Dangerman to go for a move into the corkscrew. They'll run side by side here. Our car twitching around, struggling for grip a little bit. But as we get a run on Car Guy, we're going to try and look to the inside here through the right-hander, just to leave them enough space on the outside. Now looking, that's going to give us the outside here for the final corner. Can we maybe make a move stick here? We've also got to be wary of that Ginetta. It's maybe looking to try and repass us. But we hold them off for now. We've got the run on Car Guy. We look to the inside. We just get to the inside before they're able to close the door. So we head down to turn 1. Can we get this move done in the braking zone? We hold car guide to the outside and they slot back into line. We cover off any potential chance of a cutback now, but as we look at tyre wear, just over 50% now. That's been a little bit of tyre wear, a little bit of deg starts to come into effect, so it's going to be difficult now to try and chase down the two up in front. It's going to be sort of a consolidating fifth spot as we come through this corner. Alex getting a twitch, getting onto the gravel and losing the car will gift us a P4 there. Quite a costly mistake for Alex. So as we head now with about half a lap to go, the tyres starting to get into that early stages of deg. We're able to keep up with Danger Man for now, but the question is, will we be able to keep up for the rest of the lap? Car guy dropping nearly a second back throughout this lap, but trying to maybe see if we can put a little bit of pressure of Danger Man, put a mistake on them. But as we head through this left-hander, now we're starting to struggle with the tyres, starting to feel that tyre wear. You can see Danger Man pulling out half a second in one corner. Car guy really starting to close up now with the tyre wear, but it's just one corner to go. We go a little bit defensively. We know we're going to be slow with the tyre wear, but side by side behind, which is going to help us cover off another P4. Tyres getting into the 60% range, especially on the fronts. So you can see tyre wear coming into effect there, but we hold on to P4. The undercut working really well there to end up 20 spots higher than where we started, right at the back of the grid. Brilliant race. If we had started further forward, we definitely could have been challenging for the lead of the race, but we have to take what we can get. A very fun race nevertheless. And for the final race this week, we are heading to the Nürburgring GP circuit in the rain this time, so no soft, medium, hards. It is purely the wet tyre. No variable weather too, I should add, so we'll not be switching to the dries later on in the race. Our best starting position so far, P12, just right in the mid-pack. We're looking to see if we can make a move into turn one. Looking to the outside here. Doesn't look like we've quite got any position, still in P12, but we're on the inside here of this left-hander, and with running wide there through left-hander, that's going to give us 3 positions, but we're coming under challenged from an from a Lotus Exige, sorry, but we're just able to fend them off now, so we're looking to maybe potentially get past an Exercet here, so we're running side by side through the right-hander to exit stadium section. Looks like we'll get this move done on acceleration down towards this left-hander, closing in on the Porsche in front into this right-hander here. A little bit of battling up ahead as well. Looks like the leader Rusky alright, pulling a bit of a gap at the front of the pack. They'll be looking to maybe try and run away with this race, but as we head down towards Harbin, we're closing up on the Porsche. We have a little look to the inside. Porsche leaves us the space, so we'll say thank you very much and try and take the spot. Porsche tries to run it around the outside here, but it's just a bit wide, using all of that curb on the exit. Compromises their run and allows us to complete the move on the inside. As we now skip to the end of lap 1 behind Longbow here. Quick look at the tyre wear, about 13% on average. Closing in with the slipstream now as we head down towards 1. Late defence from Longbow, but valid defence, so we'll have to look to the outside, see if we can maybe get a move done, get the car slowed up. Porsche in the background kept missing their braking zone and running wide. As we head now, Longbow looking to attack the 4GT in front of us, goes for a cutback through the left-hander. That gives him the inside for this left-hander. We look to the outside just a little bit deep though, into the left-hander. Luckily no car behind us to challenge or take advantage of that, so we're now looking for a way past the 4GT here, maybe looking to see if we can get better traction out of the right-hander, but unfortunately not, as we come later on in the lap using slipstream up to the final chicane. We have a bit of a dive into the chicane, just about pull the car up before hitting Longbow, and we'll get the move done nice and cleanly on the 4GT. A nice wee dive there. We'll skip now towards the final sector of lap 3 through this sort of left-right part before the back straight, just following, trying to see if an opportunity will present itself. Longbow a little bit wide for the apex there, trying to put the bar down, will run wide into the gravel sucking him in deeper, and that'll give us a P5 as a gift. As we coming up to the halfway point of this race, of course we only have one compound, and with how it's been wearing, it seems like it's going to just get into the early stages of Deg, and see coming up on 40%, where if we go another lap we'll be sort of 55%. So we decide to pit here at the halfway mark. It's neck and neck as Forza Car Hat's Alex on top of Car Guy coming out of the pits, but it looks like Alex will have the acceleration to pull in front for now. Car Guy looking to the outside of turn 1, as quite a few cars also went for an overcut there. We're trying an undercut to take advantage of the tyre wear that we suspect they'll hit towards the end of lap 4 here. But that won't mean anything if we all slow each other down battling here, as me and Car Guy just looking for a move on Alex. Alex struggling with grip, but has good acceleration and top speed, as see just pulling a little bit of a gap in the short acceleration zone up towards this left-hander, but we close in again in the braking zone through the corner. Car Guy maybe having a little look to the right-hand side. Alex leaves the door open. Can Car Guy get the grip? Not quite. Alex then has the acceleration on the exit. We have the acceleration on Car Guy here to pull alongside on the outside of the hairpin. We try and brake late. We slightly tap the back of Alex. Car Guy even harder into the rear corner of Alex, really compromising Alex's run, but we don't take advantage of it, and but we still get the move done on Car Guy, backing off just to make sure we don't take any advantage of that contact from Alex. But we have a good run on Alex through the Schumacher S's, gives us a run up to this left-hander, but we just back out of any move. The move definitely on there with the extra grip that we have on Alex, but we don't want to go side by side. Going side by side will only slow us down further. It's only going to help those that are entering the pits right now performing the overcut. So we'll just sit in line, try and run the fastest lap, or the fastest final sector really should be saying at this point. But look at that, we're coming up on a bit of traffic that is yet to pit in the chicane. Alex running deep through the first part of the chicane, just until we think about trying to get a cutback, but we just get into the rear bumper of Alex, can't quite pull it off. The Ferrari pulls over to pit lane, unsurprisingly, obviously struggling with their tyres there. They slide into the pit wall, but we try and get a good exit here. It's not about fighting Alex, he is the acceleration, he'll drive away. It's about fighting the cars on pit exit. So we look to the right hand side, there's the brake lights of the cars coming out of the pits, and they'll be braking, trying to get past the Ford GT. That looks like they might have got the overcut on us. We're side by side, but with the inside, the Ford GT will fend off P5 at the moment, as Car Guy's now trying to use the opportunity of us slightly compromised by the Ford GT to look around the outside, but Ford GT stuck behind Alex, leaves the door open through the left-hander, so we try and sneak our way through, and we do get in front of the Ford GT. Ford GT conceding and trying to now fend off Car Guy, so we're going to try and see if we can get a move done on Alex. We're coming to sort of more technical part of the track into left-hander. Alex a bit wide through the left-hander here, going for a late apex, trying to see if we can get to the inside of the right-hander, but Alex closes the door off, or sees the move coming, closes it off, prevents us from making a move there. Has the acceleration to pull far enough away that we're not close enough to even think about a move into the hairpin, but we close up. We know we got a good exit in the Schumacher S's last lap, so we're looking to see, can we maybe do the same again this lap, making sure we're as close as possible up towards the Schumacher S's. Alex a little bit wide of the first apex, that gives us the run through the second apex, so we're going to look for a cutback. That's going to give us the outside coming up to this left-hander, braking a little bit early. Alex trying to brake later on us too. They run steep, allows us to cut back through, and the Ford GT will follow us through as we hit through the right-hander now. But with that, bit of a gap to the cars in front. Liam 3 seconds in front of us. He managed to make the overcut work as he was behind us before the pit stops. So you see that how battling compromised us on that but we're a little deep through the chicane, and that's going to allow the Ford GT a really nice cutback here. They're going for the run on us towards the final corner. They've got the inside line, and we'll have to concede this position. Unfortunately, a good move there from the Ford GT, capitalising on a mistake. We're going to try and defend from Alex, but he just gets his bumper alongside before we're able to cover off the inside. So he'll get the move on both us and GT40. We've got the run on GT40 as well, so we're going to try and look to move on the inside of the GT40. Also looking to the inside of Alex. Alex breaking the though once again is going to run wide and allow us to take P4 on the inside. They're just trying to fend off Alex, getting to the inside for the left-hander here. We should maybe have the traction with the acceleration. The car snaps out on the shift up to 4th gear, sliding across the track, but kind of works out on our favour in the end. Alex kind of had to slightly hit the brakes to not spin us around. Very respectfully there from Alex, as he is as a racer. But he's trying to come back with the acceleration up towards this left-hander. But I know I have the grip. Alex isn't quite close enough to challenge. We're able to hold on position now. As long as we get a good exit from this right-hander here, we should be clear. We just pull out a little bit of a gap before the hairpin. Alex is closing in towards hairpin, has a little bit of a look, but isn't close enough. And we know we're quicker through this latter half of the middle sector, I should say, and then towards the final sector. So we should have the position on lockdowns. And so we cut to the final corner here at the end of the race. We have opened up a little bit of a gap to Alex, so he's not close enough to make a move on the run up to the finish. So it will be 3 P4s this week, up 8 positions this race. So another good race in that regard. A lot of positions gained this race. I think it was 12, 20 and 8. So that's 40 positions across the 3 races. So yeah, what great battles. Really unlucky on the grid positions, because I definitely could have got better results. But the main thing is, what fun racing we had this week. But that is going to do it for this week's FailRace versus Community. Thank you everyone very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.